Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. So today we are going to do some past year questions from DI in asked in CMAT. Okay, so if we talk about DI section, right? People think that okay, DI is asked in CMAT, but there are hardly few questions of DI. Okay, it's not like a big part. Like in some examinations, you have good number of questions. Like in CAT, if you talk about IFT, right? It's a big portion of the paper and even in NMAT you get good number of questions. But when it comes to CMAT, right, there are hardly few questions, and we will see the pattern over the last few years. And one should not be worrying about DI, right? कि DI कैसे होगा and all. It does not ask you those like logical kind of DI, simple calculation based DI, and DI is a part of quant section itself. Okay, so on 9th of April, we'll be having the exam analysis at 9 p.m. Now, if we see from the past 4 years from where the papers are available, okay, you won't find papers before 2018 because from 2018 onward, they started giving the response sheet. Okay, prior to that, if someone says that this is CMAT 2017, that might be some just uh, random questions or memory based papers, right? That would not be relied upon. But from 2018, the papers are available online. Okay, and we also have those put up on our website. So from 2018, if you see out of 25 questions, these are out of 25 questions of QA, you hardly see more than four questions, right? At max, there have been four questions, otherwise two, three, two, two. Okay, so you know that DI is not very significant. There will be only some questions in 2020. There were a set of four questions in both of these examinations, like CMAT 2020 as well as CMAT 21 slot 1. In all other cases, there have been individual questions. Okay, so it's a small portion of quant, and what does it test? It tests basic calculations. Right? It will not have any very lengthy calculations, or it won't have logic based DI. It would be just basic calculations, percentage increase, tell the average, and tell the ratio, etc., etc. And we are going to do those questions in this video. Okay, all right. So let us see this question. This is a question from CMAT 2018 slot 1. It says that the following pie chart provides information about the revenue share of six companies as a percentage of total car market in the year 2010. For 2010, they have given the revenue share of six companies PQRSTU. Okay, and they have given that if the revenue share of company T increases by 20% in the year 2011, then find the percentage increase in the revenue share of these six companies in 2011, assuming that all the other companies except T generated the same revenue as they did in the year 2010. So all companies had the same revenue, only company T had increase in revenue. So you have to tell that what is the increase in the total revenue of the companies. And this was an individual question. You do not have multiple questions from this, just a single question based on pie chart. What will be the answer to this? There are six companies. Okay, this is the revenue share of the six companies. Only T's revenue increases by 20% and all others remain same. So see, like suppose the revenue was 100. Okay, very simple question. Suppose the revenue was 100 in 2010. Okay, now T has a revenue of 14%. T has a revenue of 14. Now it says in 2011, what happens? T will increase 20%, right? What is 20% of 14? 2.8. Okay, so T's revenue increased by 2.8, and rest of the revenue, all other revenues remain same. So there is a net change of 2.8 in the total revenue. So total revenue will become 102.8, right? What is the percentage increase? 2.8%. Okay, that is as simple as this. So if you read the question, it will hardly, you do not have to use your pen also. You can do this calculation in your head. 20% of 14 is 2.8, right? So total is remaining same because all others, you do not have to calculate other values. Okay, only 2.8 is increase in the total increase. So that will become 2.8%. Okay, so again, a question from the same paper, that it's a table given to us, and this table you do not even have to do any calculation. Right? This is probably the easiest question you would find in DI. So there's a table given to us, and it says the courier charges for sending 1 kg parcel from one city to another. Okay, and the question is, among the following, the charges will be the least for sending a parcel from which city to which city? You just have to observe the table and answer the question. You do not have to calculate anything. Just observe the table and answer the question. So can you imagine there can be such easy questions also in the exam? Trust me, most of the questions in CMAT are very easy. Okay, there are just few questions that could be uh, conceptual and time consuming. Okay, so Ahmedabad to Jaipur. So Ahmedabad to Jaipur, if you see the price is 10, so that is 10. Mumbai to Bangalore. Mumbai to Bangalore, it is 25. Jaipur to Bangalore, 10. Right, so it has to be the least. Kolkata to Mumbai, Kolkata to Mumbai, that is 7. Out of these four, it is the least. Okay. Okay. So this is another one. It says the following table lists the marks of 7 students of a class, and these are the different subjects, 6 subjects. The numbers in the parentheses indicate maximum marks of the subject concerned. Okay, and using the data in the table, answer the question. So the question is, who is the topper of the class? So Jagdish, you cannot tell anything before the examination, right? That's the most foolish question. I hate such questions, right? That you will get to know after the examination is over. How can we tell that what could be the expected cutoff for 95 percentile if we have not even seen the paper? Okay, so that will have, that can be predicted only once the examination gets over, right? Suppose the paper is very difficult, then what will happen? Or if it is easy, so that depends entirely on the level of the paper. CMI classes are not enough, right? See, I mean, you must read. See, GK is endless. Okay, we just do some part of it. Okay, now you have to find uh, who is the topper of the class. Okay, so first of all, you are not supposed to add these marks, right? Do not add these marks because adding, I mean, you can see what mistakes people do is they add the marks and find the total marks. Have they asked what are the total marks? No, right? So do not have to add the marks. Now there are 4 options given. So topper has to be out of these 4, right? It cannot be beyond these people. So Maya, Arya, Rupesh and Riya. So this is Rupesh and Ria. So that means these three people you have to ignore. Okay. Now, if you see the marks, let us compare two people at a time. Okay. Arya has more marks in English. Arya has more marks in Hindi. Much more. 30 marks difference. Almost same. Same. This is equated. Right? यहाँ 10 ज़्यादा हो गया, 10 कम हो गया, equal. So Mania cannot have the highest marks. Okay. Now Arya versus Riya. Arya has more marks. More marks. More marks. तीन सब्जेक्ट में ज़्यादा हो गए. Equal. दो सब्जेक्ट में इसके ज़्यादा है. Right? In physics and maths, Riya has more marks. But if you see the gap, like it is in three subjects. So Arya has more marks than Riya also. And so Riya also is not the highest. Now Arya and Rupesh. So 20 marks difference, 25 marks difference, right? 3 marks difference, almost barabari keh lo, right? Good difference in two subjects. And again in one more subject, Arya has more marks, right? So obviously Arya will have the highest marks. So that is just observation. Okay, so you just have to observe and answer. No calculation needed. Given below is the table showing age-wise ownership of mobiles. If 1 crore mobiles were sold last year, how many LG sets were sold? Now what they have given is, they have given age-wise ownership of mobiles, right? So for LG, 15% are up to 1 year old, 1 to 2 year old, 45%, 40%. So this total is 100% of LG. Okay. Similarly, 100% of this. So they have given parts of different things. Okay, different companies. Now it is asking how many LG mobiles are sold. Right? So you do not have data to tell it. Right? They have given the total number of mobiles sold. They have given, like, see, LG can have 90 lakh mobiles also, right? Others can have combined. We do not know individual values of these, right? So you cannot determine. LG can have 5 lakh also, it can have 1000 also, right? Others have the different portion. So that is not given to us. Okay, so very simple. You can straight away say data is not given, so cannot be determined. So see, many of the questions are like this, which can be answered straight away. If you see this question and you look at the options, right? From the options, it looks to be a close question, right? All close options. So maybe you will have to put some effort in figuring out the answer. So anyway, that calculation is not so difficult. It's just that you have to be careful in marking these answers. Okay, ऐसे questions में अगर calculation हो जाती है, you get confused while marking the answer, right? So just be careful in choosing the right option, right? So what it is asking, it is asking the average salary expenditure per annum. Okay, so these are the salary expenditure. You have to find the average of this. Okay, so average means this total divided by 5. Okay, so if you add this 16, 18, this you will get as the total. Okay, divided by 5, you will get 663.6. That is your answer. Okay, now the only possibility of getting this incorrect is you get 6636, and while marking you get confused, you mark 6663 or you mark some other option. Okay, that is the only place where people make mistakes in such questions. So please be careful while marking the answers also. The following pie chart indicates the monthly domestic budget of a family. So they have given 6 different headings, right? A is food, B is conveyance, C clothing, D house rent, E is miscellaneous expenses, and F is saving. So the monthly saving is given to us, and you have to find the monthly income of the family. So you get these kind of basic questions. This is probably the easiest question in data interpretation. So we know that total is 100%. Total of a pie chart is 100%. What is it? 35, 53, 73, 85. The remaining is 15%. F is 15%. That is saving. Right. So 15% is given as 4,500. So 100% will be divided by 15. We get 30, and into 100, that is 30,000. Okay. So very simple question. Okay, so now this appeared in CMAT 2020. It was a table with 4 questions. Okay, which is rare. You do not get group questions, but yes, again it were quite simple. This table gives the number of boys and girls in hundreds in 6 different years in 5 different schools. So the 5 schools are A, B, C, D, E. The years are 2014 to 2019. Okay, and questions on simple calculations. You just have to observe the data carefully and answer. That's it. So if you have appeared for other MBA examinations, you will find that CMAT is very, very easy. Okay, the main challenge in CMAT is your GK section. GK and this time IND. Because there it will matter that how much knowledge you have. Other sections, even a moderate person will be able to do most of the questions correct. Like it happens in some other exams, right? Let's say in CAT your verbal is not good, you do good in quant and DILR, you get a good score overall. Okay, maybe sectional cutoff might be less, but like overall you can do decent. But in CMAT, you cannot do good unless you have good GK and this. Because everyone scores good in these sections. अब इतने आसान क्वेश्चन तो कोई भी कर लेगा. Okay, one who knows what is ratio. Okay, so ratio of number of boys in school C in 2018. So C boys 2018, that is 8.7, to the number of girls in school A in year 2018. Girls A 2018. Right, so that is 87 ratio 129. Say 29 ratio 43. Now who will get these answers incorrect? किसी का गलत हो सकता है. Unless someone does not know what ratio is, will get it incorrect. Okay. What is the approximate percentage decrease in the number of boys in school D in the year 2017 as compared to previous year? So percentage decrease is what? Right? How do you find percentage decrease? Percentage decrease is decrease in value upon initial value into 100. Okay. Now it is saying that D in 2017 as compared to previous year. So D 2017, and it is asking about number of boys, right? So that is 5.3. Okay, and as compared to 2016, that is 6.4. So the decrease is 1.1. Okay, and initially it was 6.4 into 100. No need to do the calculations. Don't do the calculations. See, the options are far apart. Okay, so some things that you must know is, we know that 11 by 66 is 1 upon 6, right? And 1 upon 6 is 16.67%. Okay, 1 upon 6 16.67% hota hai. Now this is roughly 1 upon 6. Okay? So this will be roughly 16.67%. In fact, slightly more than 16.67%. Okay. Now what happens is, like 11 upon 66, 1 by 6 hota hai, 16.67, right? If the denominator is decreased, 66 से 64 कर दिया, so fractions would go up, so it should be more than 16.67, close to 17%. इतना सोचना भी नहीं कि 17% की तरफ होगा या क्या होगा, because other options are far apart. If one option was like 16.5, another was 17, then you would have to think about this कि 11 by 64 16.67 से ज्यादा होगा कि कम होगा, right? So that will be more, so that it will go near 17. You do not have to divide by 64. Okay, that is just a waste of time. So such easy questions. Okay, let's see the next one. The number of girls in school B in the year 2018 is approximately what percent of the total number of students in school E in the year 2015? Again, observe and do basic calculations. Number of girls in school B in 2018 is approximately what percent of total number of students in E in 2015? So what we are asking, they're asking girls in school B in 2018, that is 5.9. What percent of total number of students in school E in 2015? They're asking this, right? They're asking 5.9 upon add this, you will get 9.1 and percentage. Okay, again no need to divide by 91. Okay, we will just observe and see the answer. Okay, ये 59 है और नीचे 90 है, so can we take it 90, approximately 90? 9 into 6 कितना होता है? 54 होता है. 9 into 7 is 63, right? This is 59. So something between 60 and 70%. Very rough calculation. No option is between 60 and 70%. Now what people do is they calculate 65% आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है. You do not have to do that. So you, I mean, first of all itself you have enough time in CMAT. ठीक है, अगर तुम calculate भी करोगे, then also you will be able to do it, right? You will be able to get the answer 64 point or 65. You will get an exact answer also, and you will have much time left. But why do spend that much of time, right? Just think like this. If it was 60%, 54 के आसपास कहीं पे होता, right? Slightly more than 54. 70% would be more than 63, right? Now if it is 59, it will definitely be between 60 and 70. Okay, so it is 65%. So these things you should use in other all examinations, like doing these approximations. Okay, do not just start dividing by 91 to test your dividing skills. What is the average number of girls in school A in all the years taken together? See the kind of questions they ask: simple percentages, averages, ratios, right? No logical thinking required. Like in CAD, you have logical DI, right? You have to think logically and answer in many of the cases. Here it is, simple calculation. Average निकालना है, उनको add करना है और divide करना है. Now these are given in hundreds. Okay, so 3.6 means 360. Okay, 4.2 will mean 420. 6.9 will mean 690. So last में एक zero आएगा सब में. So let's put that zero here. Okay. Now let's use this 8, 17, 26, 30, 36, 3 carries, and then 10, 16, 25, 25 plus 26, 51. 5160 divided by 6. We get 860. Okay, simple calculations. ठीक है, बस ऐड करना है और 6 से डिवाइड करना है. Right? Even like a student of primary can do this. ठीक है, अगर आप like second, third years बच्चों को ऐड करना और डिवाइड करना आता है, you tell them that you would have to add these 6 values and then divide. As simple as that. So that was there were 4 questions. Those were as easy. Hardly it would take 3-4 minutes to solve the entire set also. Okay, even if you are slow. Fast हो तो 2 minute में भी कर लोगे. Okay, so now in this case they have given a pie chart, and this shows the value of exports represents the angle corresponding to each country in the pie chart. Okay, एक वैल्यू ये नहीं दिख रही होगी शायद, that is I think this is Russia. Okay, and the value is 37.8. Okay, this is others. I guess other values are visible to you. Can you see the other values clearly? Is there any value which is not clearly visible? So I'll tell that, because while creating the diagram, this got darkened and hence not visible. Okay, so now this is giving you the total global export. Okay, and the value of exports is given in terms of angles, right? In terms of degrees, not in terms of percentages. Okay, so now it is asking the ratio value of exports between total exports of US and Japan to total exports of Australia and France. Okay, now whenever you have to find this ratio based questions, okay, remember in pie chart, whenever you have to do ratios, we do not need this 144 billion, right? Whatever the value is, you just have to use these percentages or degrees, whatever is given, and take the ratio. So US and Japan, US is 54 and Japan is 45 upon Australia and France, right? Australia is 18, France is 27. Okay, 99 upon 45 11:5. Okay, such a simple one. Okay, Australia is 18. Australia is written here, it is 18. Okay, so such is the level of the questions. Right, do not get frightened by seeing a graph. They ask quite simple problems. What is the number of countries whose exports are more than the average exports per country? We have to assume others as a single country. Okay, so I'll write the values again. This is Russia 37.8, right? Others is 50.4. Okay, rest I think are visible. US 54, Japan 45, Germany 41.4, France is 27. You have to find the number of countries whose exports are more than the average exports per country. So are you calculating the average export per country? You're finding the average export. That's the wrong way to do it. See, this is one good thing about pie chart, right? Unless you are asked some number of, I mean, you have to calculate some value, right, out of the export part, right? If you are not asked the export of any of the country, see how many countries are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 countries. Okay. Now total is 360 degree. Okay, 360 degree is equal to this value. You do not have to use the value 360 degree, right? So what will be the average? Average will be 360 by 10 countries, that is 36 degree. If the angle is 36 degree, that means it is average export, right? So whichever is more than 36 degree, you just have to count those. So US, Japan, Germany, Russia, and others. So there are 5 such countries. Okay. So this is a good thing about pie chart, right? You do not have to calculate the average. You just have to tell that which have greater than 36 degrees. The value of by how much does the exports of Japan exceed that of Australia? No, before 2018 were not available, right? That time they did not use to give the response sheet. percentage given होगा तो that percentage you would take the average percentage, right? Average would be 10%. So see this. It is asking exports of Japan exceed that of Australia. Okay. Japan is 45 degree. Okay. Australia is 18 degree. Do not calculate the exports. Okay. Don't calculate the exports. We will do it. So whenever you have to do this, right, we have to find Japan minus Australia. Do not find the export of Japan and Australia. Japan minus Australia is how much? 27 degrees. Okay. 27 degrees, right? Now 360 is 144,000. ठीक है, one thing you remember, forget zeros and decimals. ठीक है, कितने zeros and all, right? 36 से 44 कितना, 144 कितना होता है, 4 times, isn't it? 4 times. अब वो 400 है, 4000 है, don't worry about that unless they have same numbers written. Okay, so 4 times हो गया, 27 into 4 कर दो, 108. So जो आंसर 108 से स्टार्ट हो रहा है, that is your answer. Okay, if the options were like 108 0 108 00 108 000, in that case you would have to worry about the number of zeros. Okay, ये देखो 36 into 4 144. I hope you know this. This basic calculation, if you know, you can do this mentally, right? This is 27 into 4 108. If you can do this level of mental calculation, you can easily get it. How 388? 388 is not possible. How did you get 388? Some people are getting 388. I want to understand how did you get 388 as this 3888? So if you have answered 3880, how did you get? See, it is quite simple, right? If you subtract, you get 27. Okay, and 36 is 144,000, 360 degree. So you see 4 times. 4 times you do, you get this. I don't know what common mistake you made, or you just copied each other's answers. What is the value of exports of US and France as a percentage of the total exports of Japan, China, Russia and Hong Kong? Now this is a some question which is time consuming. Okay, you took 27%. No, you do not have to take percentage. That means you have to remember that this is degrees, angle corresponding, right? It is not percentage. So that is why. If you took 27% and then did it, okay, that is why they gave that option. Now we have to find the total export of US and France as a percentage of total exports of Japan, China, Russia and Hong Kong. Okay. Now see the options: 64.97, 66.15, 65.57, 66.17. These are very close options. Okay. So now this is something that can cause panic in you. Okay. ये पहला question दिख गया तो you will be panicked यार, इतना close question दे दिया. So better to come to this question later. Okay, when you have done the rest of the paper, so that you do not panic unnecessarily. Okay, you can do this question. It will take some time because it has very close options, and when you divide and all, you will get close values. So no need to panic when you see such questions. There will be few questions. I told you that last year there were 25, this year they are going to have 20. Out of 20, in every section there will be 2-3 questions which will be difficult. Okay, no need to panic. There are other questions which are very simple. So do those simple questions first. Then once you are done with all the sections, then come back to those difficult questions. Take time. Even if you take 10 minutes to calculate this, that is perfectly fine. You will have enough time to solve the questions. So US and France, US is this and France. So let us use these values. France is 27 as a percentage of Japan, China, Russia and Hong Kong. Japan 45, China 19.8, Russia is 37.8 and Hong Kong is 19.8. Russia value is 37.8. So do it. So what do we get on addition? 64 plus 56, 120 plus 2.4, 122.4. So it is asking 81 upon 122.4 and as a percentage. Okay, so it might take some time to calculate, but yes, you can do that. Not close. Okay. At least options look close. Once you start calculating, then it would become clearer. Now, if you see this, I hope you know that 1, 2, 2, 4 that adds to 9, right? So these are divisible by 9, right? So we will be able to divide by 9. So it will be 9 upon, if you divide by 9, you will get 39, 13 nines are 117, 554. So 13.6 into 100. Okay, so you can call 900 by 13.6 or 9000 by 136. Okay, again we can reduce. Okay. If we reduce, this is 17 8s are 136 and this will be 1125. Okay, now you can divide by 17. 17 6 are 102, 10, 105, right? 66. Okay, then 3, 30, 17 7. So 66.17. Yeah, answer aa raha hoga. Okay, as soon as I got 66.17, I marked this as the answer. Okay, so like it's a calculation intensive one, but there will be very few questions like this. $66.17. Are you getting this as the answer? Right? See this thing. It will become easy if you are able to divide by 9. Okay, so you should know that the divisibility rule of 9. So we know 81 is divisible by 9. This we checked 1, 2, 2, 4. That adds to 9. So we divided by 9. We got this. Now again, then we reduced it by making it 9000 by 136. We could divide by 8. So 17 at least you can divide with. It's 17 की table आती होगी. So now close options. See 66. If you got 66, then also you are not sure. You have to find till 4 digits. Right? When you got 6617, then you are certain that this will be the answer. So one or two questions that could be calculation intensive. Okay. All right, so these were some questions from data interpretation which have been asked in the past, right? So we saw that most of these questions are very simple, except a few, right? Let's say if you get 4 questions, maybe 1 or 2 questions could be calculation heavy. And in the whole section itself, not only the DI part, the whole 20 questions that you will get in quant, um, maybe 1, 2, or at max 3 questions will be time consuming. Okay, rest of the questions are quite simple. It is just that you have to be focused, know all the concepts well, because they ask questions from all topics, right? In quant, they will ask questions for permutation, combination, probability, algebra, everything. So be prepared with all topics. You should not go कि यार मैं permutation combination नहीं करके जाऊंगा तो कोई नहीं बाकी chapter से कर लूंगा. But remember here the questions are easy. Most of the people are able to do many of the questions. Okay, good number of people are able to do most of the questions. So that could be problem. Like for example in CAD you can say ठीक है मैं permutation combination नहीं करके जाऊंगा. If I have done arithmetic well, in some questions I can get a great score. But here you have to attempt a good number of questions. Okay. All right. So that's it for today's class. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.